Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something that might sound a little counterintuitive. We're going to talk about being nice. Now, hold on, I know what you're thinking. Isn't being nice a good thing? Absolutely. Absolutely. Kindness, compassion, and empathy are cornerstones of a good life and healthy relationships. But there's a difference between genuine kindness and what we often call being too nice. This is the kind of niceness that comes from a place of fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of not being liked. And this type of niceness, my friends, can actually be quite damaging. It can lead to resentment, burnout, and even attract toxic relationships. So, today, we're going to explore 7 common nice traits that might actually be hurting you more than they're helping. Recognizing them is the first step toward building healthier boundaries and more authentic connections. Let's get started. The first trait, and it's a big one, is constantly apologizing. Do you find yourself saying, "I'm sorry" for things that aren't your fault? Like when someone bumps into you, or when you need to ask a perfectly reasonable question. Apologizing excessively is a classic sign of being too nice. It's often a learned behavior, a way to make yourself smaller to avoid inconveniencing others, or provoking any negative reaction. But what does this really communicate? It subtly tells others, and more importantly, it tells yourself that your presence, your needs, and your very existence are an imposition. It undermines yourself, constantly taking the blame when it isn't yours. It can lead people to see you as a pushover. You're essentially training them to believe that you're always at fault. So, the next time you're about to say sorry, pause for a second. Ask yourself, did I actually do something wrong? If the answer is no, try swapping "I'm sorry" for "excuse me," or a simple "thank you for your patience." It's a small change, but it's a powerful way to start reclaiming your space. Second on our list is having an incredibly hard time saying no. People pleasers often see no as a 4-letter word. The thought of turning someone down can fill you with anxiety and guilt. You might worry that you'll disappoint them, anger them, or that they'll stop liking you. So, you say yes. You say yes to extra work you don't have time for. You say yes to social events you're too exhausted to attend. You say yes to lending money you can't afford to lose. You keep saying yes until your own plate is overflowing, and you're left feeling overwhelmed, resentful, and completely drained. The problem is, when you always say yes to others, you're often saying no to yourself. You're saying no to your own needs, your own rest, and your own priorities. True kindness isn't about sacrificing yourself on the altar of others' requests. It's about balance. Learning to say no gracefully is a skill, and it's one of the most important acts of self-care you can practice. Remember, no is a complete sentence. You don't always owe anyone a lengthy explanation. This brings us to our third trait. Feeling responsible for other people's emotions. Ever notice how when someone around you is upset, sad, or angry, you instantly feel like you have to fix it? It's like this intense pressure to cheer them up or solve their problems, even if you weren't involved at all. That's a heavy load to carry. And honestly, it's pretty impossible. You're not in charge of managing everyone's feelings. People have the right to feel what they feel, and trying to control or fix their emotions is not just draining for you. It can also be disrespectful to them. It takes away their chance to go through their own emotional journey and learn from their experiences. Often, this comes from a fear of discomfort. You want to smooth things over because their negative emotions make you anxious. But here's the thing. Your job is to manage your own feelings, not theirs. You can be there for them, listen, and offer a shoulder to lean on. But you shouldn't carry their emotional baggage. Letting go of this false sense of responsibility is incredibly freeing. And trust me, it feels amazing. Number 4 is a subtle one. You're overly agreeable, even when you secretly disagree. Picture this. You're in a group, and everyone decides they want to get pizza, but you were really craving sushi. Instead of speaking up, you just say, "Yeah, pizza sounds great." This might seem small and harmless, a simple way to keep the peace. But when this becomes a pattern in more important areas of your life, your values, your opinions, your goals, it becomes a serious problem. Constantly suppressing your own thoughts and feelings to mirror those of others is a form of You're sending the message that your perspective doesn't matter. Over time, you can lose touch with who you really are and what you truly want. People won't get to know the real you. They'll only know the agreeable, conflict-avoidant version you present. Authentic relationships are built on honesty and the ability to navigate differences. It's okay to have a different opinion. It's okay to say, actually, I was thinking of something else. You might even find that people respect you more for it. The fifth trait we need to talk about is avoiding conflict at all costs. For someone who is too nice, conflict can feel like the ultimate threat. It's scary, it's uncomfortable, and it feels like a direct path to being disliked or abandoned. So, you do everything in your power to avoid it. You bite your tongue when someone says something hurtful. You let things slide that genuinely bother you. You don't speak up when your boundaries are crossed. You choose a false, fragile peace over a potentially messy but necessary conversation. But here's the truth. Conflict is a natural and often healthy part of human relationships. Avoiding it doesn't make problems disappear. It just allows them to fester. Resentment builds up under the surface until one day it explodes, often over something small and seemingly unrelated. Learning to handle conflict constructively is a superpower. It's about addressing issues directly, respectfully, and with the goal of finding a resolution, not just winning an argument. It's how relationships grow stronger and more resilient. Next up, number 6. You frequently downplay your own accomplishments. When someone gives you a compliment, what's your first instinct? If you're too nice, you probably deflect it. Someone says, "Wow, you did an amazing job on that presentation." And you reply, "Oh, it was nothing, or anyone could have done it." You might think you're being humble, but what you're actually doing is diminishing your own value and hard work. You're telling yourself and others that your achievements aren't worthy of recognition. This habit can prevent you from truly owning your successes and building self-confidence. It can also be awkward for the person giving the compliment. They are trying to offer you a gift of acknowledgement, and you're essentially handing it back. There is a simple, powerful alternative. The next time someone compliments you, just smile and say, "Thank you." That's it. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Or, thank you. I worked really hard on it. Accepting praise gracefully is not arrogant. It's a sign of self-respect. And finally, our 7th trait is that you tend to attract and tolerate one-sided relationships. Take a look at your friendships and relationships. Are you always the one reaching out, making plans, and putting in the effort? Are you the go-to person for everyone's problems, but there's no one to listen when you need to talk? People pleasers often find themselves in these imbalanced dynamics. Because you give so much and ask for so little in return, you can become a magnet for takers, people who are happy to benefit from your generosity without ever reciprocating. You tolerate this because you fear that if you demand more, or if you pull back, the relationship will end. And you'd rather have a one-sided connection than no connection at all. But you deserve relationships that are a two-way street. You deserve mutual support, respect, and effort. It's crucial to start recognizing these patterns and have the courage to either address the imbalance or walk away from relationships that consistently drain you more than they fulfill you. So there you have it, 7 traits of being too nice that could be holding you back. Constantly apologizing, being unable to say no, feeling responsible for others' feelings, being overly agreeable, avoiding all conflict, downplaying your accomplishments, and tolerating one-sided relationships. If you recognized yourself in some of these, please don't be hard on yourself. These are often deeply ingrained patterns learned over many years. The goal isn't to stop being a kind and generous person. The goal is to start being kind and generous to yourself. 2. It's about shifting from a niceness born of fear to a kindness rooted in strength and self-respect. It's about setting healthy boundaries, honoring your own needs, and showing up in the world as your authentic self. That is the greatest gift you can give to yourself and to everyone around you. If this message touched your heart, don't let it stop here. Share it. Let someone else feel seen. And don't forget to follow our channel, where stories heal, inspire, and wake the giant inside you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.